Oh, hello. This month I want to talk to you about getting everything onto one keyboard stand. Because if you're not like me and you don't have a Korg Kronos that like all these sounds are at the tip of your fingers, then you're going to need to run with more than one keyboard. And besides, who wants to play organ with all the glissandos and stuff on a hammer weighted keyboard action like the Korg Kronos, which has aftertouch by the way. So it's almost perfect this keyboard, but I don't like the way it handles effects. And there's a certain coolness factor when you have multiple keyboards, although it is a bother because as soon as you get past two keyboards, you're going to have a second stand. Kitty corner or opposite, don't do opposite. 'Cause your neck is gonna, you have to look over there and there. You want to see your whole workspace. But the problem is that in your little bedroom, in your little studio, on stage, the stage is getting smaller and smaller. You don't have room to set up two keyboard stands. You gotta find a way how fits all on one keyboard stand and then put it all on wheels so you can wheel it around and never have to lift these things up again. These things get heavy, especially the piano, the heavy weighted hammer action keyboard, which this one is the Legends 70s W for the wooden keys. Gotta go wooden keys. What are you doing? What are you doing? The keys, they've got some really heft to them, much more than the Nord Grand, because they're kind of trying to cut weight, and it feels really good to play. But the keys are kind of hollow, plasticky feeling, which doesn't really matter at all because it just matters how it plays, and it plays great. But I, the, it's cool. This would definitely be my second choice because it's beautiful. It's really simple, and wow, that is a nice keyboard. It's actually not so big either. It's quite small. And the top of it could fit what I have here as the second keyboard that sits on top. Because notice how I'm targeting the flat top keyboards, like the Viscount Legend 70s. You can fit another keyboard on top of this first one. So you could have two keyboards on one little keyboard stand. So already we're solving problems. Another one with a flat top is the Kumar 7, but that only has 73 keys. It's not 88. How are you going to play Chopin, Franz Liszt, and Rachmaninoff on a keyboard length that doesn't 88 keys? And besides, it's not so much that you use all the keys in a piano performance. It's that if you split the keyboard to have certain sounds, you're going to make use of every single key because of the way you have it split up and then octave down, and then you know all you keyboard players are familiar with the way we do splits, and then we play with the octave and the range and all that. The Legend 70s Viscount and Artist W. Uh, I like it because I don't have to use any program changes. If I want a acoustic piano off or on, I just press the button and that's it. I did that. Press the button if I want it on or off. I don't have to scroll around with my live set unless it's something really complicated that I have to save a preset. I haven't had to do that. I like reaching up here and turning things off and adjusting the volume and putting it up and down and combining sounds. This keyboard is just fun. It is just pure fun to play. Um, so that's definitely my pick. And with this keyboard on top of it, which happens to be the Studiologic Numa Compact 2X, you've already taken care of two keyboards. And this one feels like a synth. The keys are synth all the way. So you got your piano, you got your synth, all you're missing is the organ. I favor the Hammond SK Pro 37, which is what we see up here. Um, so, yeah, those are the three keyboards. And because of the first keyboard, you can stack it on top. You can use a regular on stage. Where am I on OnStage Z stand. This is the one that I use. This is one that everybody uses. You can use an X stand if you want, because that has second tier arms as well. Be careful not to backload this thing because it could fall backwards because there's too much weight on the back because of the way the arms are attached into the back of this thing. So you put your heavy keyboard all the way up to the front so that it doesn't tip over, and then you should be good. It's a good stand. I like it. I used it a lot. There's a lot of different things you can do with it, like take the arms off of the second tier, flip them over, and then reattach them so that the arms reach to the back instead of overhang around the front, which sometimes messes up the visibility in the keyboard at the bottom because it's too much overhang. So that's a cool thing you can do. I favor this stand because it gives me more room at my feet because it's more long and the legs come straight down. And so that gives me room for pedal boards and pedals and stomp effects and sustain pedals and expression pedals. Another thing is that this fits into the trolley. Where is the trolley? This is the trolley. So you take this stand and put it inside the trolley on wheels. Now you can just push around your keyboard rig and you seldom ever have to lift up your keyboards unless you're boxing them up and going somewhere. And then you attach this stacker on top, is right, because this is what it looks like, and then bam, now it has arms, and then it could even have another pair of arms coming out of those arms, and then it has this. It's like a diamond that goes into a square, so it has to be tilted. So there's this arm attachment thing that fits onto the side of the stand, on the little post on the legs, and you can put one on that side and one on that side, and it comes out backwards, diagonal, or frontwards. Frontwards, I usually put a shelf attachment, but backwards, what you can do is load up the top of these little things with a boom arm, so that you can sing into the microphone as you're playing. But what I like to do is attach one of these things on it. Now these things have the European screw-on adapter thing at the bottom of it, so you can just slide these things right on top of here. So I think you can see what I've done here is the iLad micro monitor right and left on either side of the keyboard rig. So that's great, because in a perfect world, all of these keyboards would have built-in speakers without adding any weight. That's not really a perfect world. I don't know why I said that. But if you don't want to always play with headphones because, who wants to put on headphones all the time? The clamping, the ear. What if it's a hot day, you get hot and sweaty. You just want to play your keyboard. You want to hear something really quick. You don't want to put on the studio monitors or the big speaker system or whatever. You just want a little bit of sound. You want to rock out a little bit. And then just put the little speakers on your keyboard stand. No like extra something. It's the speakers themselves are on wheels, so you're wheeling it around. So I really like that. That's the main reason why I like this stand. It's super expensive, and if you invest in this system, wow! Yeah, have you seen the price tags for all this stuff? So interesting. So yeah, that is how we get keyboard, synthesizer, and organ all on one stand. The synthesizer, I have it split. So the lower half gives me 3 octaves and a little bit, and 3 keys more, a little extra, from the lowest A of an 88 keyboard all the way up until middle C. And then you take it from middle C and run it the rest of the 4 octaves all the way up for the lead synthesizer. And the lead synthesizer is the Trigon 6. Now, this Studiologic Numa has aftertouch, so it pairs well with the Trigon 6 that has all the aftertouch controls right on the front panel, not hidden inside a menu or anything, which is super handy because you just want to play. You just want to play. No menus. And as little program changes as possible. Slap this baby in what is it? Slap it out of preset mode into manual mode, and then you're off to the races, right? So That's the lead synthesizer because you need something with three oscillators. How else can you do the Moog Keith Emerson sounds without three oscillators? Because it imitates the mini Moog in that way. So I think this is the most complete synthesizer in terms of features for my needs. It's not maybe not the one like my favorite sounding one, even though this is like A tier for sure. Somehow the module just sounds so good. I've tried the keyboard version before. Maybe it was in a different firmware, but um, that leaves the lower half to be the bass synthesizer, and that's why I like the Hammond SK Pro because it has the mono synth right there. There's all the controls that it needs. Are you seeing this? See that? It's the mono synth. All this is what I need. Cut off, portamento time, and then the envelopes. And I love pressing this button here that switches it from duo to unison mode to pulse. It is the simplest, smallest, compact little synthesizer, and it just lives in my organ. That is so convenient. It's just a little mono synth because as I have my lead synth in and everything I need right here, but I need that bass. I love the bass synthesizer, and this one's good. I like how it sounds. You can do the Moog Taurus pedals with like sound thing with this, and you can have a really funky like Arp Odyssey bass with this one as well. So um, that's why I like the Hammond XK Pro. You could go for something that has a flat top on it, right? That you can put your synthesizer on, so that you'd have piano organ synth, but I have to go piano synth organ because there's not a flat top here. Like other, um, like maybe you could go after the Krumar Mojo, right? The Krumar Mojo, that might make more sense because I'm only having one manual organ. So you get something like this. It has a flat top. You could put a synthesizer along the top of it here. It's a spiffy little organ, but it doesn't have that bass synthesizer. And the Hammond having that cuts down on the amount of devices that I need to turn on and plug in and MIDI up and all that. Because you need your piano and your organ, and then you need that bass synth and lead synth. But now the bass synth and lead synth is combined all on the surface of the Numa Compact X of this thing, right? There's that half and there's that half. And then you have your well, in a perfect world, the Hammond XK Pro the Hammond would release an 88 key version instead of the 73. So you could split it and have your 3 octaves there and your 4 octaves up there. But 73 isn't enough. It's just not enough to do bass synthesizer because um, growing up and playing piano, the lowest key on a piano of that well that's standard anyway is the B flat, and it feels so at home with my pinky playing that B flat. So much of the time you'll have a bass synthesizer like that is 3 octaves, and the lowest key is going to be C, right? Because most 3 octave keyboards start on C, so that's really as low as you're going to go. But when you have something that looks like an 88 key bass synthesizer, even though I'm trimming it down because there's that split in the middle at middle C, it just feels like you can go so low on the keyboard, right right down right down to the lowest note where the bass synthesizer it's kind of I, ticky. It's like the waves are so slow that I love that range. When you really want to mean it, you go right down there as low as you can go, lower than the C that they usually give you, way down there, all the way down to an A, um, because of course the mono synth that is inside the Hammond SK Pro responds to the whole 88 key range. You could use it for leads as well, but the Trigon 6 fills that role. Anyways, in the next video, I want to show you the rig in use, like what it sounds like, what you can do with it, more advantages, but more importantly, how the MIDI works. Because if I want this keyboard to control this synthesizer and the synth inside the organ, how do I split it out? And then if I want to have my keyboard that has my clavinet module inside, and I want to use the organ to play the clavinet, how do I take the MIDI out of there when the MIDI is already going from here into there? And then I want to, it gets crazy because I have these drawbars on the Studiologic Numa. Where are you? These faders, right? The Hammond only has one pair of faders, one set of faders here, right? But these can be my second pair of faders right here. And it is all right here. They just reach here. Here's my lower set. Here's my upper set. I don't have to use the buttons right up here to change these. They always stay where they need to be. So yeah, I'll show you what I use for my super duper MIDI connections that make it all work and make all the keyboards, all three of them, talk to each other, plus the module. So that's for next month, though. I'll see you then. Bye.